Alright, so in today's video, I'm going to reveal to you the number one secret that allowed us to grow more than 400,000 followers on Instagram in just 1 year. Now, if you're new here, a little bit of context. I'm Alessio, and together with my business partner, Brian, we started a personal brand pretty much 1 year ago, and we were able to grow it to more than 400,000 followers. You can even search the page on Instagram. It's called Create Content Club. We will also probably leave some links in the description. Now, not only that, but we were also able to do this again with a second page that we grew to almost 30,000 followers. And now we help other people, freelancers, coaches, business owners do exactly the same with their personal brand. So as you can see, we didn't only do it just for ourselves, but we're also helping other people do it. I will just put some results on screen. Now, with proof that I know what I'm talking about out of the way, people ask us this all the time. So what is the secret? What did you do? How were you able to grow 400,000 followers in just 1 year? Okay, and so in today's video, I'm going to reveal it to you. You ready? You want to hear the secret? Okay, get a little bit closer. A little bit closer. We post 2 times a day, every single day. Now, before you close the video pissed off at what I just said, just give me a second because I'm going to explain to you how we can manage to do that. Because we also run a business that's now generating about $20,000 a month and constantly growing. So no, we're not just creating content full time. We actually have work to do as well. But we are still able to manage to put out these 2 pieces of content every day. Now, the premise that I want to make with this is that Alex Hormozi talks about this a lot, and I think it's incredibly important for you to understand this, which is most people just heavily underestimate the amount of work that they need to put into something to make it work, okay? And truth is, there is literally no competition out there, okay? It's so damn easy to do even something like this, and I know if you're watching this, it's probably because a result like that, it's almost inconceivable to you. You're like 400,000 followers, like that's insane. I cannot even imagine it. And it was exactly the same for us just 1 year ago. Okay, so 1 year. In just 1 year, we were able to do this just because we understood that we just needed to do 10 times more than what all the other people were doing. And I promise you that if you truly understand and internalize this is what will allow you to get the best results. Because with also our students, we've seen this time and time again. The people that get the best results are always the ones that start with this mindset of I will just post consistently and something will eventually happen. Because it's always like that. Something eventually happens if you start with this mindset. Now, of course, the question that you will probably ask now is like, okay, cool, but I'm busy, I have stuff to do, I have a business to run, or I have, school, university, whatever it might be. So I don't have all the time in this world to create content. So how could I even possibly create 2 pieces of content every single day? And by the way, you don't necessarily have to start with 2 a day, but at least 1 post a day. It's our first recommendation to anyone that we have to teach. Like if you come to us, okay, and you ask us, what is your number 1 advice to grow on social media? Post every day, at least 1 time a day, because that will be the best way to also learn how to create videos that perform better, and you will also get more and more context, understand the platform, and eventually grow this kind of audiences. So with that being said, how do we manage to actually do this? How do we manage to squeeze the time between, again, running a business that's generating now $20,000 a month and constantly growing? So again, we have the fulfillment side of things in the business as well to do. So it's not just that, we also have the sales to do, because we're pretty much also running this entirely ourselves. So it's also like $20,000 a month, it's something. For most people, it's probably something, also considering the profit margins that we have with the kind of business that we run, which is mainly coaching, okay? So the only expenses that we have is pretty much an editor for our videos and the softwares that we use to run it. So it's like, you can do this, okay? If you're running any kind of business that's, from 0 to probably $100,000 a month, even without a team, you can actually do this, okay? It's nothing crazy. So in this video, I'm going to reveal to you 5 tips, okay? 5 simple steps that you can follow to get the same results, and most importantly, to be able to post 1 time a day to eventually get to the point of getting the same kind of results that we got with our own personal brand. So let's get straight to the point and start with step number 1, which is prioritizing, okay? Let me ask you a question. What exactly are you doing in your day, okay? Because if you're watching this video, again, most likely you're just a business owner that wants to grow his business, or maybe you're a freelance, you just started growing your business, and you know, like ultimately you want to monetize out of this personal brand thing, and this is the reason why you're interested in watching content that explains to you how you can grow your personal brand. And so my question, genuinely, because we see this a lot of times, is like, what exactly are you doing in your day? How are you allocating your time? Because truth is, if you're a business owner, you should understand that the first step that you need in your business is traffic, aka people that know that you exist in the first place, okay? Because if people don't know you exist, everything else doesn't matter, okay? Your offer doesn't matter, your fulfillment doesn't matter, like the product that you're selling or whatever it might be, your marketing doesn't matter, the landing pages that you have don't matter, okay? So the first thing that I just want you to understand, and I hope you already understand this, is that you need traffic, okay? This is the most important thing that you need, especially when you're just starting out. Like again, if you have any business that's below $100,000 a month, the first thing that you need to understand is that people don't even know you exist. And so it's like, you need more traffic. Now, with that being said, this is why you need to focus most of your time in creating content. Now, why am I saying content specifically? There are many different ways actually of driving traffic, okay? I will not go into this in this specific video. We actually have a video specifically on that. I will leave the link probably like somewhere around here or in the description below, in which we break down why we believe, and it's pretty proven at this point, that content is the best traffic source compared to all the others. So, you know, like cold outreach, warm outreach, paid advertising, all of those things, we consider all those methods pretty much outdated. So again, I will not go into this in this specific video, but given that you understand this concept, which is if no one knows you exist, everything else doesn't matter, the first and most important thing is traffic, and we want to drive traffic with content. So the first thing that I will ask you is like, again, what are you doing with your day? Because to be honest, what we do right now is the first 4 hours, 5 hours of our days are just focused on content, okay? Before you start running crazy and being like, what, like 5 hours a day to create all of this content? No, like this is also to create the long form content, the lessons of our coaching and all of this stuff. So it's like, to create the short form content, it doesn't even take that much time, and I will explain to you in the next principles exactly how it doesn't actually take that much time to us. But what I'm saying is your main focus, like your first priority, the first task should be traffic, letting people know that you exist. So the first step is you prioritize content, okay? If you don't really do this, it's like everything else that I will explain doesn't really matter. Now, we agree on this point that you need to prioritize content. How do you actually organize yourself? How do you actually structure your day? And this brings me to the second point, which is time blocking, okay? You need to block out time in your day, and in that time, you just focus on content, okay? This is literally what we do, again. So in the morning, we don't take calls, we don't do either sales call, we don't do fulfillment of our coaching, we don't do all of these other things, you know, other than maybe first thing in the morning. But what we focus on is just the content, because again, we need to reach more people. And so we just block that time in our calendar. And it's like, those hours are just dedicated to content. And this is the first thing that a lot of people fail to understand, because they try to do 10 different things at the same time. It's like, yes, you're maybe scripting your content, but at the same time, you're also replying to emails and you're also about to hop on a call or something else that comes up. And so it's like, no, you cannot really do that, because you're spreading yourself too thin and you will ultimately not be able to create content. We don't do it ourselves, and we've been creating content for 1 year now. So it's like, no, it just doesn't work, trust me. So like, block your time, focus on content in that part of the day, and just structure your day in a way that everything else just comes afterwards. Now, the second step is batching, okay? So for every single task that you need to perform for content, and the fundamental ones are basically finding the content ideas, scripting your content, filming, and editing, you want to do all of this in batch, okay? So you don't find an idea, script it, film it, and edit it, okay? It's not how it works. You're never going to make it work. It's going to be totally unsustainable if you want to do it this way, okay? Because every single day you would have to come up with an idea and do all of these different steps for one single video. So what we do instead is we have our week, and we basically just do one of these tasks in the different days, okay? So for example, on Monday, we might just find all the content ideas. On Tuesday, we might just script all the videos out, okay? But again, it's like, we are not doing all the different steps for one video every single day. okay? And so this way you're much more focused, again, because you're doing one single task, which again might be, for example, scripting. And so in that moment, I'm just scripting. And so if I'm just scripting, I'm much faster because, you know, the first script might take me a little bit. The second one, I already got the pace and I'm focused, I'm just doing this. So again, you have to batch all of these different tasks. My suggestion is, especially if you're starting out, you can literally just take one day to find content ideas, a couple of days to script all of these ideas, another day to film, so we are at 4 days, and then the rest of the days to just edit all of your videos. Because this way, it's much easier to make it sustainable to actually create content every single day, because you pretty much take the first week to do that for the entire content of the week right after, and then you can just keep on going with this loop. Now about that, I also want to share with you a quick tip, and I will still consider it tip number 4. And we talk about this a little bit more in depth in other of our videos, but this relates back to the finding the content ideas, but it connects to the whole process, okay? And it's like, when you're just starting out, you don't have context. And so what you want to do is take idea that already performed for other people. Now mind, disclaimer, I'm not telling you to copy. A lot of people copy our content as well. It's not a good look if you just take our scripts and repeat them exactly the same way. Like it's just not you. It doesn't make sense. That's not what I'm telling you. But I will give you an analogy to make you understand what I'm saying with this concept, okay? Which is, imagine that you have to cook a meal for the first time, okay? You would not try to come up with a recipe of your own, okay? You would take a recipe that's, you know, proven to work in that sense. You know, you take your cookbook, you read the recipe, and you just follow step by step the recipe, okay? Then, once you get to the point of you master that recipe, then you can change it up, you know. You can add a little bit more salt, or, you know, you can change up, you can maybe cook it a little bit longer because you like it more that way, okay? And the same exact thing goes with content. When you're just starting out and you don't have context on what works and what doesn't, you have to take ideas that already performed well. And for ideas, I mean the topics of the content, okay? So it's just, do not try to come up with your own ideas from scratch, because you just don't know exactly what will perform and what will not in your specific niche. So what you want to do is find videos that are already viral and talk about those topics, because clearly people are interested in it. Now again, we will have other videos that go a little bit more in depth in the exact process that we follow and how we do all of this. But with that being said, I will just move to principle number 5, which is delegating, okay? So if you get to the point, as we are, for example, right now, in which your personal brand is actually generating you money, the first thing that you have to do is start delegating tasks. Now, what do you delegate? Do you delegate the finding content ideas, the scripting, the filming? Well, not really the filming for sure. No, none of this. What you want to delegate is editing. Editing is super time consuming, even if you're good, even if you already know how to edit. Because for example, when we started out, I was editing all of our videos because I had a background as a filmmaker and editor. You still don't want to do that because it takes a lot of time, and there are tons of people that can do it probably even better than you. So you want, as soon as possible, as soon as you can delegate that task, you want to just delegate your editing so that you can focus most of your time on finding the content ideas and scripting. Now, again, these were the 5 fundamental principles. If you're interested in working directly with us to grow your personal brand, we'll just leave a link in the description. You can go check it out. It's our coaching program. And yeah, you can check it out or not. Doesn't matter. I'm just leaving out there for you. So if you found valuable this video, you can just go check that out, and you can get us to work specifically on your personal brand and give you specific advice tailored to your situation. And with that being said, we'll see you in the next video.